This evening, President Ali hands over newly constructed homes to two differently abled residents in Berbice. Revised legislation on siren and flashing light usage to accommodate diplomats and government officials. Fatal collision on Mabura Trail leaves Cuban national dead and several injured. In the region, U.S. alleges Chinese spy balloon flew over sensitive military sites, and internationally, Hong Kong tries to tempt tourists with free flight tickets. Welcome to this broadcast of Channel 2's Headline News Updates. I am Berbice. Thank you for joining us. First up, the government is resolving a previously unclear subject of who has the authority to use sirens. Minister of Home Affairs Robertson Ben announced that legislation regarding the use of sirens and flashing lights will be revised to accommodate senior government officials and members of the Diplomatic Corps. Currently, only emergency vehicles such as police, fire service, and ambulances are permitted to use sirens and flashing lights. However, Minister Ben addressed concerns raised by an opposition member of parliament during the Committee of Supply that increased traffic in the city has made it necessary for diplomats and government officials to have access to these appliances. Minister Ben stated, quote, "We have to tweak the legislation to take account of the changed situation. We have more traffic on the road and people can't get to where they want in time. All members of the Diplomatic Corps are required to have the light, both on the vehicle of the ambassador or the High Commission, and perhaps on an escort vehicle. We have to deal with this issue," end of quote. The minister also expresses worry about the misuse of these appliances across the country. He highlighted that police-type lights are available for sale in stores and are often misused. Nevertheless, the updated legislation is expected to clarify the guidelines for the use of sirens and flashing lights by diplomats and senior government officials. We now turn our attention to a fatal incident on Thursday afternoon on the Mabura Trail between 39 and 40 miles, which left a female Cuban national dead and several others injured. The incident involved a minibus and a motor pickup and is currently under investigation by the police. The minibus, registered as BVV 5815, was being driven by a 35-year-old Kirk Alicott, a licensed driver, and had 13 passengers on board, including both Indian and Cuban nationals. The motor pickup involved in the incident had an unknown registration number, and the driver's details are currently unknown. According to initial inquiries, the minibus was traveling to Mabura on the left side of the trail when the collision took place. The motor pickup, which was proceeding in the opposite direction on the right side of the trail, collided with the front portion of the minibus as it was negotiating a left bend. The impact of the collision caused both vehicles to catch fire, resulting in the death of the Cuban national who was seated behind the driver and trapped in the minibus. The driver and other passengers sustained injuries and were taken to the Linden Hospital complex for treatment. 4 of the passengers, 2 females and 2 males, were referred to the Georgetown Public Hospital for further medical attention, while others, including the driver, are receiving treatment at the Linden Hospital. The identity of the deceased and the condition of the other passengers have not yet been released. This is a developing story, and more updates will be provided as they become available. In other news, Chadijagan International Airport Corporation staff and the Guyana Police Force successfully recovered a missing hand luggage belonging to a passenger, Oswald Blair. After receiving a complaint about the missing luggage, the airport conducted a review of the closed-circuit television system and was able to identify the individual responsible for taking the bag. The police were then able to retrieve the luggage in Berbice and return it to Blair, who confirmed that all his personal items were still inside. Blair commended the airport and the police for their swift and professional handling of the situation. The Chadijagan International Airport Corporation would like to remind all passengers to thoroughly check their luggage before leaving the airport and to contact the airlines or airport duty office for assistance if needed. Stick around when we return. President Ali hands over newly constructed homes to two differently abled residents in Berbice, and GRA issues warning of narcotics importation through illegal ports of entry.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Good girl forget things.
What's the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lender's, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brickdam and White Castle Fish Shop, be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
Welcome back. The Ghana Revenue Authority, in a press release on Thursday, stated that over the past few months, they have observed an alarming increase in the efforts to smuggle refined narcotics, drugs, and other illegal items through personal consignments such as barrels, boxes, parcels, and containers to all ports of entry into Guyana. Recently, the authority in Kano seized quantities of cannabis and refined marijuana found in personal effects consignments and suitcases, which have led to several persons being arrested and placed before the court. The release further stated that the authority, along with its sister agencies, the Customs Anti-Narcotics Unit and Ghana Police Force, intend to pursue and minimize all such illicit trade or activities, and anyone who fails to adhere and is therefore found in pursuit will be dealt with in accordance with the respective laws. The authority once again advises all such persons dealing in or contemplating engaging in such illegal activities to cease and desist therefrom. In closing, GRA noted that as it continues working with the general public to ensure compliance with the nation's tax, trade, and border laws, the authority encourages persons to report illicit, unlawful, or smuggling activities to telephone numbers 227-6060. All information will be dealt with in strict confidentiality. We tell you now that Man on a Mission is at it again. Earlier today, President Dr. Mohamed Irfan handed over 2 newly constructed homes to 2 differently abled residents of Berbice. 55-year-old James Haynes, a resident of Little Africa's Skeldon Berbice received a fully furnished flat house built under President Ali's Men on a Mission initiative and was financed by local businessman Chris Jagdeo.
So I'm very pleased to come here and celebrate with the private sector and the civil society and with this family. And so it's not a huge ceremony, so I'll ask the family if they can come forward with Chris Jagdeo and they can cut their ribbon for their new home. But I want to thank again this company for this initiative, and I know Chris is planning to do more of this in the region and other companies too. So we are very, very pleased with the response that we are having from the family. And this is how we build a stronger community and stronger country, when we share and we become better corporate citizens, better family citizens, and better citizens that contribute to the holistic development of our country. Thank you.
The house includes all of the necessary amenities such as wheelchair ramp that will allow Haynes to maneuver comfortably in and out of his home. During the simple handing over ceremony, the president commended the region's private sector for their response to the initiative. Haynes lives with his wife and 4 children. Also, 62-year-old Buduram Madri, a resident of number 64 Village Berbice, received his home. During the simple handing over ceremony, President Ali explained that while the house was constructed under the Men on a Mission initiative, it was done through a collaboration between the Ministry of Natural Resources and local contractors and laborers. The president expressed appreciation to the local contractors and laborers for their contribution to making these initiatives a success.
And it's important that I do this as president. So let these small entrepreneurs, contractors, workers in the community, donors know how appreciative the country is of these important gestures that builds us as a society, that molds us as a society, that teaches us and shapes us in a new form of doing things and caring about each other, in uplifting each other, in seeing the needs and highlighting the needs of different strata of our society, so that we can have, as I said before, holistic development of what we want to achieve in true prosperity for our country. So again, I want to thank everyone. Congratulations.
Don't go away after the break. Brazil's ex-president attended election plot meeting. Senator and Gutam Adini calls off $2.5 billion share sale.
Sooner or later you will have another power failure. Are you prepared for the next blackout? Some essential equipment such as security cameras, lights, internet, gate motors, and water pumps may stop working. How can you prevent the next blackout? InverterTech has an affordable solution for you. A strong UPS system which uses the latest inverter and solar battery technology to prevent blackout. We smartly calculate your average power demand so you don't spend more than you need to. Call 223-2233 for more information.
When you need money and you gotta get it fast, Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop is the place for that confidential transaction in a quiet and secure location. You'll get the highest value per pennyweight for your gold and also enjoy the lowest interest rates and longest payback period too. Yes, for that instant transaction to solve a pressing financial problem. That Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, 46 Boyle Place, that's between the Ministry of Housing on Brick Dam and White Castle Fish Shop. Be your first and only choice. Creative Jewelry and Pawn Shop, safe and sound, solid and secure, always there for you. Telephone 231-7878 and 223-8955.
Furnishing your home or office has never been easier. Here at Kissoon's, our inventory of locally made and imported furniture, offered at amazing prices, will leave you wanting more. From vinyl, floor rugs and carpets, bedroom, dining and living room sets, mattresses, pillows, office desk, chairs and filing cabinets, outdoor benches and tables. We have a piece of furniture for every room imaginable in your home or office. Check out our flagship store at Industrial Site Rijnveld or one of our branches in New Amsterdam, Port Morant, Riverton and Camp Street. Kissoon's Furniture, furnishing homes for over 50 years.
Good girl forget things.
Who's
the problem, Granny?
I want money for borrow for those surgery. I was dancing and I fall and fracture my hip.
If you need some quick money, you should check Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop, Lot 238 South Road Border, Georgetown. Get jewelry made to order in just 72 hours. We also accept vehicles. Lenders, best rates, longest payback period.
Boys, I get through. Plus, I could dance again.
Lender's Jewelry and Pawn Shop.
Give your home or office some shine. Fortune Investment Company. We provide reliable commercial and residential professional cleaning services in Guyana. We clean homes and commercial offices. Other services offered are floor care and tile polishing, interior auto detailing services, power washing, weeding and cleaning, and carpet, couch, and mattress cleaning. We are committed to keeping your homes and offices squeaky clean. Call us now at 592-689-7558 or 592-639-6365 or visit us at 3430 Jackson North Rumville, Georgetown, Guyana. Fortune Investment Company. When we say clean, we mean spotless.
Hey, this is your transit vehicle and God, is your house?
Yes, this is my vehicle and actually I'm waiting on my land. I'm actually renting this house for $50,000.
$50,000? You head more? You crazy? You mad? You head not good? Why you buy? Look, let me show you the light. Come with me.
Come on down to Fabulous Homes today. Pay $50,000 every month for 36 months or until you reach 50% of your house costs. Move in after 75% of the cost has been paid.
This is wonderful. Let's go. Sign me up.
All right, let me go and dash you your landlord.
To explore our home ownership program, check our Facebook page for more information or come down to our office at Avalon Friendship.
Hey, Chinese, thanks, man. Thanks a lot. Man.
You got through?
Yes.
Call us at 227-1380 or 615-8740. Fabulous Homes International Realty, changing tenants into homeowners.
At Fabulous Homes, we bring your dreams to life.
Okay, welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the region and around the world. In South America, Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva has accused former President Jair Bolsonaro of planning the storming of the government offices on January 8th with his supporters. Senator Marco Duval also accused Bolsonaro of attending a meeting to prevent the handover power. Duval initially claimed Bolsonaro presented the plan, but later changed his story, saying Bolsonaro was silent during the meeting. The plan was to force the Superior Electoral Court president to incriminate himself. Bolsonaro was not in the capital at the time of the riots and has been in Florida since December. The Pentagon is monitoring a balloon that has been flying over the United States for the past few days. The American military says it suspects China is using it for spying ahead of Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Beijing next week. Al Jazeera's Natasha Goni reports.
I have no idea what it is.
It's not the moon and it's not a star, says the curious Montana resident who shot this video from his driveway on Wednesday. The Pentagon says this is a Chinese surveillance balloon.
It seems so brazen and just so insane to me that anyone would even attempt to just push a balloon over the sky, because to me it was just like, this thing is so visible.
The Pentagon says shooting down the balloon could put lives at risk on the ground. And it's not a significant threat from an intelligence standpoint.
I think that it would be ridiculous if the government didn't retrieve it. I mean, obviously, I think that's the first course of action, is to get it out of the sky through whatever means they need to.
House Speaker Kevin McCarthy tweeted, China's brazen disregard for U.S. sovereignty is a destabilizing action that must be addressed. The spokeswoman for the Chinese Foreign Ministry says she hopes the superpowers can resolve this matter calmly.
I would like to stress that before it becomes clear what happened, any deliberate speculation we're hyping up will not help handling the matter.
The surveillance balloon's arrival coincides with U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken's visit to Beijing next week. Tensions have been rising on the status of Taiwan and the theft of intellectual property. A Pentagon official says this isn't the first time China has launched a spy balloon, but this one has remained in American airspace longer. Natasha Ghanem, Al Jazeera.
Hong Kong is giving away 500,000 flight tickets as part of a campaign to boost tourism. The local government wants to reinvigorate the city's economy after 3 years of COVID-19 and political turmoil. Al Jazeera's Richard Kimber reports.
Hello from Hong Kong. A world city like no other extends the warmest welcome to you. Be inspired by
an invitation to the world from Hong Kong's leader, John Lee. He's fronting a multi-million-dollar campaign to put the city back on the map as a tourism and finance hub after a tumultuous few years. Months of anti-government street protests in 2019 led to a crackdown on dissent and the introduction of a controversial national security law. The government then imposed some of the world's strictest COVID-19 rules during the pandemic. The result? A public exodus. Local businesses have taken a beating, and the city recorded its biggest population drop in 2022. Hong Kong's economy shrank 3.5% last year. That's the third contraction in the last 4 years, and that's adding to local concerns that the city is lagging behind rival Asian financial centres such as Singapore. The government says it's time for a turnaround. It's handing out hundreds of thousands of free flights and more than 1 million spending vouchers and scrapping all remaining COVID-19 border restrictions with the Chinese mainland.
You can see the streets are getting a bit busier, but I think there are still a lot of hidden worries. Business confidence still seems volatile, and it's hard for people to feel they have enough money to save.
We have to wait and see, but we'll just try to stay positive and just see how things go.
One sector that can't wait much longer is the tourism industry. Local travel agents have been organising networking events to get back on track. Hong Kong received 56 million visitors in 2019. In 2021, arrivals slumped to 90,000.
We've done local tours with government support, but we've been losing money left, right, centre, and we hope to stop the bleeding this year. Hong Kong is one of the world's most beautiful cities. Hong Kong is a stand-up kid, a comeback kid. It will always come back.
John Lee is kick-starting that comeback campaign with a trip to the Middle East. On Saturday, he's leading a business delegation to Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. He says it's time to share the great stories of Hong Kong and make sure the world knows the city is finally open for business again. Richard Kimber, Al Jazeera in Hong Kong.
And finally, one of India's biggest conglomerates has seen $100 billion wiped off its value in recent days. The meltdown in Gautam Adani's business empire started when an American short seller accused the group of fraud. Al Jazeera's Pavni Mattel has more.
This decision will not have
an unexpected U-turn from the man who was once the second richest person on the planet. Gautam Adani cancelled a share sale or follow-on public offer after raising $2.5 billion. The business tycoon says it's because stock prices have been fluctuating.
For me, the interest of my investor is paramount and everything is secondary. Hence, to insulate the investors from potential losses, we have withdrawn the FPO.
The Adani Group shares have been in a week-long meltdown. It started when American investment firm Hindenburg Research accused it of, quote, the largest con in corporate history, alleging stock market manipulation and accounting fraud. Hindenburg is a short seller, which bets against stocks and makes money when share prices fall. Adani Group has questioned its motives, calling it a war on India. The report has shattered the group's credibility. Media reports suggest two global lenders are no longer accepting Adani bonds as collateral for loans. India's central bank is also reportedly asking banks here to give details of their exposure to Adani companies. Opposition parties are demanding a judicial inquiry and a debate in Parliament.
It is the money which
hard-working Indians have saved. It's their lifetime saving and their hard work which they've invested for their future.
They say Adani has benefited from his friendship with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. The conglomerate has built major infrastructure in India. Last week, it bought the Haifa port in Israel for more than $1 billion. There are growing calls for improving corporate oversight.
Indian conglomerates have, over the last 10 years, have really become global players. And while they have become global players, the regulatory, systems in India and let's say, and in the US or in Europe, there is a gap. So Indian regulation has to catch up and has to evolve a far more transparent system.
Gautam Adani is no longer Asia's richest person. India's stock market regulator is reportedly examining the cancelled share sale. Pavni Mittal, Al Jazeera, New Delhi.
This brings us to the end of our regional and global news coverage. Up next is a 3-day forecast. This concludes today's Headline News Update. Tune in next week, Monday at 7 p.m. with our next broadcast. For more news and updates, you can visit our Facebook and YouTube pages. Until then, please take care of yourself and each other and do have a wonderful weekend.